Here we're going to write the equation of the line that is perpendicular to y equals negative 4x plus 5 and goes through this point. Now let's take a look at parallel lines before we even get started. We know parallel lines have the same slope because they go in the same direction. But I'm going to change the color here and let's look at perpendicular. Notice how they go in totally opposite directions, and that's why they intersect. So the slopes are actually not the same. Notice how they intersect at a 90-degree angle. That's typically what this little square symbol means, showing that it is at a 90-degree angle. So if I were to compare the slopes of this line and this line, you'll notice that one slope is negative and the other slope is positive. So one important thing to take from this slope is perpendicular slopes are opposite. They have opposite signs. So if this slope is negative, the slope that's perpendicular has to be opposite. It's going to be positive. Now take another look here. Notice how this slope is much steeper than this slope. This one goes up very gradually and this one goes down pretty fast. Then let's say I were to make some imaginary points here. I'll go ahead and use yellow. If I were to, let's say, go down 3/1, notice how it creates that type of triangle. If I were to draw that triangle over here, it would appear that I'm going up 1/3. So slopes are also, or parallel or perpendicular slopes are also reciprocal. Make sure you write that down. So all perpendicular slopes are opposite signs and they're reciprocal. So if this is 4/1, our new slope is going to be 1/4. So remember, and make sure you write it down again, all slopes are opposite reciprocal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my new slope and my point, and I'm going to plug it in to find the equation of the line that is perpendicular to y equals negative 4x plus 5 and goes through the point -3, -1. So for this one, I'll go ahead and use point slope form because I don't believe I have many videos that cover point slope form. I'm going to do y minus y1. My y1 is -1. Don't forget, when you plug that in, you subtract a negative, you get a positive. Equals my slope times x minus -3. That's the same thing as x plus 3. And I want to practice getting y by itself. I know we've got a fraction here, but you guys know how to use fractions. This is something we have talked about before. I'm going to distribute 1/4 to x and to 3. I can put that 3/1 if I want. I end up with y plus 1 equals 1/4 x, because I'm multiplying, plus 1 times 3 is 3, 4 times 1 is 1, so it's going to be plus 3/4. Now, in order to write this in slope-intercept form to get y by itself, I have to subtract 1 from both sides. Y equals 1/4 x minus 1/4. If you do not know how I got this minus 1/4, I got it from subtracting these numbers. If you still, after we have reviewed, don't understand how we got these numbers, you need to see me for extra help with fractions. This is our final answer, the equation of the perpendicular line to this that goes through this point.